Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Judge Tamika West Bernard. I'm presiding over the first appearance hearing before Clayton County Magistrate Court today. We have three inmates that require an interpreter. So I will make my opening remarks and allow the interpreter to properly translate from English to Spanish for any inmates requiring an interpreter. Please bear with me. Before we do that, I need to swear each inmate in. So if each inmate will raise their right hand.
Cada uno de los reos levanten su mano derecha.
Do you swear and affirm
¿Jura usted y afirma
that the information
que la información
and testimony
y testimonio
that you provide to the court today
que usted va a suministrar ante la corte en el día de hoy
will be true and accurate to the best of your knowledge,
va a ser correcta y verdadera a su mejor saber y entender,
including the information provided on your court-appointed counsel form?
incluyendo la información suministrada en su solicitud para que le nombren un abogado de oficio?
Need a verbal yes or no?
Necesito que digan verbalmente si es sí o no.
All inmates, I need a verbal yes. Okay, thank you. You can put your hand down. Thank you.
Okay, muchas gracias. Pueden bajar sus manos.
Again, this is your first appearance here before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. We are
Una
not
vez
here to-
más, I'm sorry, Judge.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Una vez más, esta es su comparecencia inicial ante el Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
We are not here to try your case or to take a plea today.
No estamos acá para juzgar su caso o para aceptar una declaración a cargos.
You are here for the court to inform you of the charges against you,
Usted está acá para que la corte le informe cuáles son los cargos en su contra,
advise you of certain rights,
que le informe sus derechos,
set bail on those offenses for which the court is authorized to set bail,
que le fije una fianza en aquellos delitos que a la corte se le autoriza a fijarle una fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing on your behalf,
que le programe una audiencia preliminar
and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
y que determine si usted requiere la asistencia de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio y no decir nada,
But should you choose to give up this right,
pero si usted elige renunciar a este derecho,
anything you say during these proceedings may be used against you if your case goes to trial.
cualquier cosa que usted diga durante este procedimiento podría ser usado en su contra si su caso va a juicio.
Doing this and all other court proceedings, you have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Durante esta y todos los procedimientos del tribunal, usted tiene el derecho a la presunción de inocencia hasta que el Estado pruebe su culpabilidad más allá de una duda razonable.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
Usted tiene el derecho de tener un juicio sin demora público y ante un jurado.
You have the right to indictment by the grand jury for most felonies or accusations for misdemeanors.
Usted tiene el derecho de que el gran jurado le formule una acusación para la mayoría de los delitos graves o que se le formule una acusación para los delitos menores.
You also have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine all witnesses who are called to testify against you.
Usted también tiene el derecho de ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a todos los testigos que sean citados a testificar en su contra.
You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses in your own behalf by subpoena.
Usted tiene el derecho de exigir la asistencia de testigos para que testifiquen a su favor mediante un citatorio.
You also have the right to testify and offer other evidence in your own defense should you choose to do so.
Y si usted así elige hacerlo, usted tiene el derecho de testificar y presentar pruebas a su favor.
But should you choose not to do so,
Pero si usted elige no hacerlo,
no presumption of your guilt may be raised.
esto no se puede usar como que usted es culpable.
You also have the right to have an attorney represent you during these proceedings and all other court proceedings.
Usted también tiene el derecho de tener un abogado para que le represente durante este procedimiento y durante los procedimientos posteriores en este tribunal.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail pending prosecution of your case.
Alguno de ustedes se le va a permitir pagar una fianza sin restricciones, teniendo el caso pendiente para ser procesado.
You can post bond by cash, commercial, or property.
Usted podría pagar su fianza en efectivo usando una compañía de fianza o usando una propiedad.
If you post a cash bond,
Si usted paga su fianza en efectivo,
someone will deliver the full amount of the bond in cash together with any applicable mandated fees to the sheriff's office.
alguien tiene que pagar la cantidad total de su fianza más las tarifas mandatorias aplicables a la comisaría,
Who will hold it until your final court date,
la cual se quedaría con este dinero
at which
hasta el
time
final de su caso.
the cash bond will be returned to the person who posted it.
Y en ese momento el dinero en efectivo le sería reembolsable a la persona que lo pagó.
If you use a commercial bonding company approved by the sheriff's office,
Si usted usa una compañía de fianza aprobada por la comisaría,
someone will have to pay the company up to 15% of the total bond as their fee.
alguien le tendría que pagar hasta el 15% a esta compañía como su tarifa,
This fee will not be returned.
pero esta tarifa no le sería reembolsada.
Someone can also post bond using their property
Alguien también puede pagar la fianza usando su propiedad
if they have net equity in the property in an amount equal to 3 times the total amount of the bond.
si ellos tienen un capital neto en la propiedad que sea hasta 3 veces la cantidad total de su fianza.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond
Algunos de ustedes van a tener condiciones especiales en su fianza
that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going around certain places.
en las cuales se le prohíbe ponerse en contacto con ciertas personas o de que vaya a ciertos lugares.
These special conditions will be included on your bond order.
Y estas condiciones especiales van a ser incluidas en la orden de su fianza.
You will also be prohibited from calling or having any contact with the alleged victim.
A usted también se le va a prohibir que llame o tenga cualquier tipo de contacto con la presunta víctima.
Should you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked.
Si usted no cumple la orden de la jueza, su fianza sería revocada
And you will not be entitled to another bond while awaiting trial.
y usted no tendría derecho a tener otra fianza mientras usted espera ir a juicio.
An additional charge of aggravated stalking,
Cargos adicionales de persecución ilícita con agravante,
influencing witnesses,
influenciar testigos,
or other charges as the law may provide
otros cargos según se permitan por ley,
could be brought against you,
les podrían ser imputados,
for which you could be sentenced up to 10 years in prison and fined up to $20,000.
por los cuales usted podría ser sentenciado hasta 10 años de prisión y multas de hasta $20,000.
For family members who will assist you in posting bond,
Para los familiares los cuales le van a ayudar a pagar la fianza,
they will be provided with information regarding your bond amount after we have concluded the first appearance calendar for this morning.
a ellos se le va a dar la información con respecto a su fianza después que hayamos terminado la audiencia de primera vista en la mañana de hoy.
If a family member is an alleged victim on the warrant,
Si un familiar es la presunta víctima en la orden de arresto
and there's a special condition that you're to have no contact with that family member,
y hay una condición especial que dice que usted no puede tener contacto con ese familiar,
he or she will not be allowed to post a bond on your behalf.
a él o a ella no se le va a permitir pagar la fianza por usted.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is simply not authorized by law to set bail.
Algunos de ustedes se le acusa de delitos por los cuales a esta corte simplemente no se le permite fijar una fianza por ley.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a superior court judge, and I will inform you of that date during your first appearance hearing.
En este caso, una audiencia para pedir fianza sería programada ante un juez del Tribunal Superior y yo le informaría cuál sería la fecha durante su audiencia de primera vista.
If you are currently on active probation,
Si actualmente usted está bajo libertad condicional,
this court is not authorized by law to set bond.
A esta jueza no se le autoriza a fijarle una fianza.
Your bond can be reconsidered after your probation officer has the opportunity to determine
Su fianza podría ser tomada en consideración después que su agente de libertad condicionado haya tenido la oportunidad de determinar
if they wish to file a warrant for a violation of your probation,
si ellos quieren tramitar una orden de arresto por haber quebrantado o infringido su libertad condicional.
This is usually during your preliminary hearing.
Y esto generalmente ocurre durante su audiencia preliminar.
The purpose of a preliminary hearing
El propósito de la audiencia preliminar
is to determine if there's enough evidence or probable cause
es determinar si hay suficiente pruebas o motivo fundado
to justify keeping you detained until such time as your case goes to trial.
para justificar continuar con usted detenido hasta que su caso vaya a juicio.
For those of you charged with misdemeanors only,
Para aquellos de ustedes que se le acusa de delitos menores solamente,
you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing.
usted tiene la opción de renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar.
Waiving your preliminary hearing will not affect your right to post bond.
El renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar no afectaría su derecho de pagar su fianza,
Your right to have an attorney represent you,
el derecho de tener un abogado para que lo represente,
or your right to have a jury trial.
o su derecho de tener un juicio ante un jurado.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si usted paga su fianza, su audiencia preliminar se cancela automáticamente.
And you will be mailed a notice when to appear in state court for your arraignment.
Y a usted se le va a informar cuándo tiene que comparecer en el tribunal estatal para su lectura formal de cargos.
If you cannot make bond,
Si usted no puede pagar su fianza,
you may waive your preliminary hearing
usted podría renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar
and be taken before a state court judge,
y lo llevarían ante un juez del tribunal estatal,
at which time, if you plead guilty, you will be sentenced.
en el cual, si usted se declara culpable, usted sería sentenciado.
If you plead not guilty, a trial will be scheduled on your behalf.
Y si usted se declara no culpable, le programarían un juicio.
If you choose to have a misdemeanor preliminary hearing,
Si usted elige tener una audiencia preliminar por un delito menor,
your hearing will be scheduled for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom.
su audiencia sería programada para el 25 de julio del 2023 a las 8:30 de la mañana vía Zoom.
For those of you charged with felony offenses,
Para aquellos de ustedes que se le acusa de delitos graves,
you will not have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing.
ustedes no van a tener la opción de renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar.
Your preliminary hearing will be scheduled for July 24th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom.
Su audiencia preliminar va a ser programada para el día 24 de julio del 2023 a las 8:30 de la mañana vía Zoom.
Okay, that will conclude my opening remarks.
Esto concluye mis instrucciones de apertura.
At this time, I will take the first inmate on the male side requiring a Spanish interpreter.
Kalanda.
In alphabetical orders, deputies, please.
Kalanda.
Okay. Please state your full name for the record.
Por favor, diga su nombre completo para que conste en el acta.
Irvin Eduardo Colunga Saucedo.
Irving Eduardo Colunga Salcedo. Saucedo.
Okay, sir, you've been charged with 3 offenses.
Señora, ¿usted se le acusa de 3 delitos?
I will give you the offenses and then your bond amount for each offense.
Yo le voy a decir cuál es cada delito y luego la cantidad de fianza por cada uno de ellos.
The first offense is criminal trespass.
El primer delito es de invasión o daño a la propiedad.
Your bond amount is $1,500.
La cantidad de su fianza es de $1,500.
The second offense is battery.
El segundo delito es agresión corporal.
Your bond amount is $3,500.
La cantidad de su fianza es de $3,500.
The third offense is cruelty to children in the third degree.
El tercer delito es crueldad infantil en el tercer grado
Your bond amount is $2,000.
y la cantidad de su fianza es de $2,000.
Therefore, your total bond is $7,000.
Por tal razón, la cantidad total de su fianza es de $7,000.
Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amounts?
¿Entiende usted los cargos y también la cantidad de su fianza?
Entiendo.
Repita, por favor.
Entiendo.
I understand.
Okay. If you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order.
Si usted puede pagar su fianza, van a haber condiciones especiales, las cuales van a estar incluidas en la orden de su fianza.
The first condition is you're to have no contact with the alleged victim in the case.
La primera condición es que usted no puede tener ningún tipo de contacto con la presunta víctima en este caso,
By the name of Killian Perez.
del nombre de Killian Pérez.
Do you recognize that name, sir?
¿Reconoce usted ese nombre, señor?
Sí, señorita.
Yes, Your Honor.
No contact means stay away, absolutely, directly, or indirectly.
No tener contacto significa que tiene que mantenerse alejado de manera absoluta, directa o indirecta,
By mail, by email,
por correo electrónico,
by text message,
por mensaje de texto,
by social media,
por las redes sociales,
by telephone.
por teléfono.
You also cannot contact Ms. Perez through a third person.
Usted también no se puede poner en contacto con la señorita Pérez usando una tercera persona.
Secondly, because the alleged incident occurred
Y segundo, porque el presunto incidente ocurrió
at 521 Santa Barbara Drive,
en el 521 Santa Barbara Drive.
you're not to return to that location while you're out on bond. Is that your primary residence?
Usted no puede regresar a ese lugar mientras usted esté fuera bajo fianza. ¿Es esa su residencia primaria?
Sí, sí, señorita.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please inform him he will have to make other arrangements while he's out on bond.
Usted va a tener que hacer otros arreglos mientras usted esté fuera bajo fianza.
However, I will allow him to make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of his release.
Sin embargo, yo le voy a permitir que usted haga una cita con la comisaría durante los primeros 10 días después de haber salido de la cárcel
To retrieve any personal property, undisputed personal property from that location.
para que usted retire cualquier artículo personal que no esté bajo disputa. Lo saque de ese lugar.
You also cannot violate any other laws while out on bond.
Usted también no debe infringir ninguna de las leyes mientras esté fuera bajo fianza.
Do you understand the special conditions of your bond, sir?
Señor, ¿entiende usted las condiciones especiales de su fianza?
Sí, sí, señorita.
Yes, Your Honor.
Secondly, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom.
Segundo, yo le he programado su audiencia preliminar para el día 25 de julio del 2023 a las 8:30 de la mañana vía Zoom.
Do you understand that that's your next court date, sir?
¿Entiende usted que esa es su próxima corte, señor?
Sí, sí, señorita.
Yes, Your Honor.
I also reviewed your application for a court-appointed attorney.
Además, yo revisé su solicitud para que le nombren un abogado de oficio.
Can you tell me, on your application, you did not include your monthly wages. Can you tell me how much you make a month?
En su solicitud, usted no incluyó cuál es su salario mensual. ¿Podría usted decir cuánto gana usted por mes?
Alrededor de $4,000.
I make $4,000.
Okay, so please inform me he will have to hire his own attorney to represent him.
Usted tendría que contratarse su propio abogado para que lo represente.
Do you have any questions?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta?
No.
The interpreter didn't get that, Your Honor.
Okay. I believe he didn't have any questions.
Oh,
We didn't have any questions.
Okay, state your full name for me.
diga su nombre completo para mí.
Bruce Rubén Guerrero Dimas.
Luis Rubén.
Bruce.
Repita.
Bruce.
Bruce
Sí.
Rubén Guerrero Dimas.
Sí.
Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of simple assault family violence.
Señora, usted se le acusa de un cargo de agresión corporal simple, violencia doméstica.
Your bond amount is $2,500.
La cantidad de su fianza es de $2,500.
Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
¿Entiende usted el cargo y también la cantidad de su fianza?
Sí lo entiendo.
Yes, I do understand.
Can you make bond?
¿Podría usted pagar su fianza?
No tengo dinero en mi tarjeta y no estoy trabajando.
I don't have money in my card and I'm not working.
Okay, if you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order.
Si usted pudiera pagar su fianza, van a haber condiciones especiales, la cual van a ser incluida en la orden de su fianza.
There will be a no contact against the alleged victim in the case.
Va a haber una orden que dice que usted no puede tener contacto con la presunta víctima en el caso,
By the name of Jose Guerrero.
del nombre de José Guerrero,
I believe that's your brother.
y por lo que yo creo ese es su hermano.
Do you recognize that name?
¿Reconoce usted ese nombre?
Sí, exactamente lo reconozco.
Yes, exactly. I do recognize it.
So you will have to stay away from him. There's a no contact while you're out on bond. Do you understand that?
O sea que usted tiene que mantenerse alejado de él. Hay una orden de que debe mantenerse alejado mientras usted esté fuera bajo fianza. ¿Entiende usted esto?
Lo entiendo muy bien.
I understand that very well.
Also, because the alleged incident occurred at 6817 Maddox Road, Clayton County, Georgia, you're not to return to that location while you're out on bond.
Y por el hecho de que usted, este incidente ocurrió en el 6817 Maddox Road en el condado de Clayton, en el estado de Georgia, usted no puede regresar a este lugar mientras usted esté fuera bajo fianza.
Okay, is that where you live, sir?
¿Ahí es donde usted vive, señor?
Esa es mi familia.
That's my family.
Okay, please let him know that he cannot return to that location while he's out on bond.
Usted no puede regresar a ese lugar mientras usted se fuera bajo fianza.
Está bien.
However,
Está bien.
¿Perdón?
Haré lo mejor posible por portarme bien.
I'll do my best to behave well.
okay, and please let him know I will include a provision in the order that will allow him to make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of his release to retrieve any undisputed personal property at that Maddox Road location.
Y yo voy a poner una orden en su fianza que le va a permitir que usted haga una cita con la comisaría durante los primeros 10 días después de haber salido de la cárcel para que usted pueda retirar cualquier artículo personal que no esté bajo disputa de esa dirección de Maddox Road.
Okay.
No puedo estar allí nunca. Ni confianza.
¿Podría repetir?
No puedo regresar allí nunca, ni confianza, ni pagando dinero.
I cannot go back ever, not even with a bond, even if I'm paying the money.
Correct. While he's out on bond, yes, correct.
Correcto, mientras usted esté fuera bajo fianza.
Ok.
Okay.
But let him know that within 10 days of his release, he can have the sheriff join him there to retrieve any undisputed personal property.
Pero durante los primeros 10 días, después de usted haber sido puesto en libertad, usted puede hacer una cita con la comisaría para que le permitan retirar cualquier artículo personal que no esté bajo disputa.
No
Do you
tendré-
understand?
¿Entiende usted?
Sí, lo entiendo.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, and you also cannot violate any laws while out on bond.
También usted no puede infringir ninguna de las leyes mientras esté fuera bajo fianza.
No tendré que pagar otra multa después cuando retire mis cosas de la oficina de policía.
And then would I have to pay another fine once I get my belongings from the officers?
No.
No.
Okay, and then please let him know I've scheduled his preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom.
Y yo le he programado su audiencia preliminar para el día 25 de julio a las 8:30 de la mañana vía Zoom.
Está bien.
That's fine.
Okay, and then with respect to his application for a court-appointed counsel, can he let me know how much, if he has a job?
Y con respecto a su solicitud para que le nombre un abogado de oficio, ¿tiene usted empleo?
No tengo, estaba trabajando y me iban a dar el cheque esta semana, el jueves y el viernes. Me dijeron que yo fuera uno de esos 2 días, pero me ocurrió este problema y ya no fui a trabajar, iba a trabajar la otra semana.
I was working, but they were going to give me the check this week, and then I was supposed to go to work, but I had this problem on Thursday, and then I couldn't go back to work on Friday. So no.
Okay, so please let him know I have approved a court-appointed attorney to represent him.
Yo le he nombrado un abogado para que les represente. Yo he aprobado su solicitud.
Está bien.
That's fine.
Okay, do you have any other questions?
¿Tiene usted alguna otra pregunta?
¿Cuánto es el tiempo que duraré aquí en la cárcel si yo sigo aquí?
How long would I have to stay here? If I
Well, I've
stay
set, I've set bond for 2,500, so it's whenever he can bond out.
Yo le fijé su fianza a 2,500, o sea que hasta cuando usted lo pueda pagar.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Muchas
Okay,
gracias.
gracias, señor.
Okay, state your full name for me, sir.
Diga su nombre completo para mí, señor.
Mario Tamayo Díaz.
Mario Tamayo Díaz.
Okay, so you've been charged with 1 count of battery, family violence,
Señora, usted se le acusa de un cargo de agresión corporal, violencia doméstica.
your bond amount is $3,500.
La cantidad de su fianza es de $3,500.
Can you make bond?
¿Puede usted pagar su fianza?
No, no.
No.
Yo soy la única persona que vive en este país. Yo estaba con mi esposa, pero yo soy el único.
No, because I'm here by myself in this country. I was with my wife, but it's just me.
Okay, if you can make bond, there will be a special condition that you're to have no contact with your wife.
Si usted paga su fianza, va a haber una condición especial que dice que usted no puede tener contacto con su esposa.
Because she's the alleged victim in the case, you must stay away.
Porque ella es la presunta víctima en el caso, usted tiene que mantenerse alejado
Directly or indirectly,
de manera directa o indirecta,
by mail, by email,
por correo electrónico,
by text message,
usando mensajes de texto,
by social media, by telephone.
usando las redes sociales o por teléfono.
You also cannot contact her through a third party.
Usted tampoco se puede poner en contacto usando una tercera persona.
Pero entonces, ¿cómo yo le hago? Si yo todo
So,
el dinero, yo lo tengo con ella.
so what am I going to do if all the money that I have it with her?
Okay, sir, that's something that you're gonna have to make other arrangements. Also, because the alleged incident occurred at 2070 Lake Harbor Road, Morrow, Georgia, you're not to return to that location while you're out on bond.
Para eso, señor, usted va a tener que hacer otros arreglos. Y por el hecho de que el incidente ocurrió en la 2070 Lake Harbor Road en Morrow, Georgia, usted no puede regresar a ese lugar.
Okay, is that your
Bien.
primary residence?
¿Es esa su residencia principal?
Sí, esa es la única residencia que tengo.
Yes, that's the only residence I have.
Okay, please let him know he'll have to find somewhere else to live while he's out on bond.
Usted va a tener que encontrar otro lugar donde vivir mientras usted esté fuera bajo fianza.
However, I will allow him to make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of his release to retrieve any undisputed personal property at that location.
Sin embargo, yo le voy a permitir que usted haga una cita con la comisaría durante los primeros 10 días después de haber sido puesto en libertad para que usted retire cualquier artículo personal que no esté bajo disputa.
Sí, pero lo que yo no entiendo es, yo estoy discapacitado. Yo no puedo casi ni caminar.
Yes,
Entonces,
but
¿cómo yo voy a hacer para poder defenderme o poder hacer algo, un arreglo, para poder yo salir de aquí? Es lo que-
deme un segundito, señor. Yes, but what I don't understand is I'm disabled. I cannot even walk. So how is that I can make arrangements to be able to get out of here?
Well, that's something he can speak to his attorney about. I am going to appoint him a court-appointed attorney so he can speak to his attorney about his special needs.
Eso es algo que usted lo puede que hablar con su abogado. Yo le voy a nombrar un abogado para que usted pueda hablar con él con respecto a cuáles son sus necesidades especiales.
Está bien.
That's fine.
Okay, and lastly, I've scheduled his preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom.
Y finalmente, yo le programé su audiencia preliminar para el día 25 de julio del 2023 a las 8:30 de la mañana vía Zoom.
Okay, that will
Okay.
conclude his first appearance hearing.
Y esto concluye su comparecencia inicial.
Okay, thank you.
Emails are next.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mrs. I think that's all of the inmates that required interpreters. Is that correct, Deputy?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Bermudez, you are released to leave. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, 1 minute, deputies. Okay, we are ready to go. First female inmate, if you would state your full name for me.
Brittany Flournoy.
Okay, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is simple assault. Family violence, your bond amount is $3,000. The second offense is criminal trespass. Your bond amount is $2,000. Therefore, your total bond is $5,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amounts?
Yes.
Can you make bond?
I'm not sure. I wasn't able to get.
Okay, if you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. The first condition is you to have no contact with the alleged victim in the case by the name of Julius Jones. No contact means you must stay away directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by text message, by social media, by telephone. You also cannot contact him through a third person. You recognize that name, Julius Jones? Do you recognize that name? Okay, also because the alleged incident occurred at 7830 North McDonald Road, apartment C in Jonesboro, Georgia, you're not to return to that location while you're out on bond. Is that your primary residence?
No. I got it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No.
Okay, and do you have any undisputed personal property there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you do, I will allow you to make an appointment with the sheriff office within 10 days of your release to retrieve any undisputed personal property. And then you also cannot violate any laws while out on bond. You understand these special conditions of your release?
Yes, ma'am.
I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
You say keep going to court?
Yeah, you keep it on the calendar. You can waive it or you can keep it on the court's calendar. What would you like to do?
Find out, so. I mean,
Okay, if you bond out, it'll automatically be waived. Do you want to leave it on the calendar until you bond out? Okay. Okay, and then I see you did complete an application for court-appointed counsel here. Based on your application, you do qualify, so I have approved your application for court-appointed counsel. If you have any do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Hey.
Okay, state your full name for me. Okay, Ms. Hines, you've been charged with 1 count of simple assault. Your bond amount is $2,500. This is also a family violence charge. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Ma'am.
Can you make bond? Can you make bond? The same?
Yes, ma'am, I just have to call my mom today, but it,
Okay, if you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. The first condition is you're to have no contact with the alleged victim by the name of Jack Bensley. Do you recognize that name?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, no contact means stay away, directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by text message, by pager, by telephone, by social media. You also cannot contact him through a third person. In addition, because the alleged incident occurred at 185 Old Mill Court, Atlanta, Georgia, you're not to return to that location while you're out on bond. Is that your primary residence?
And that's actually my house, is in my name.
Okay, well, it says here that y'all live together. Although it is your house, because this is a family violence matter, I'm prohibiting you from returning there. However, I will allow you to make an appointment with the sheriff office within 10 days of your release to retrieve any undisputed personal property at that location. And then you also cannot violate any laws while out on bond. Do you understand the special conditions of your release, Ms. Haynes?
Now, but I have a question.
Okay, you can ask any questions when I finish. Secondly, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar? Okay, you want to keep it on the calendar? Okay. And then I see you did not complete your application for court-appointed counsel. Do you not need a court-appointed attorney? I'm sorry, deputies, I can't hear.
I do not, I'm sorry.
You do not? Okay. So you're gonna hire your own counsel, you understand that? Okay, at this time, I'll take any questions.
All right, I was just asking, if the person was to already have evacuated my house, I still can't go back?
Well, I have no proof of that. I can only go by the warrant. Once you retain counsel, you can ask for your attorney to request a reconsideration of the bond conditions. Otherwise, this order is in place and you must comply with it. If you do not, then it's likely that you'll be charged with violating the court's order and likely be re-detained. You understand that? Okay, thank you.
Robin.
Okay, state your full name for me.
Brianna Robinson.
Ms. Robinson, you've been charged with 3 offenses. The first offense is speeding in violation of Georgia law. Your bond amount is $2,500. Second offense is reckless driving. Your bond amount is $2,000. Third offense is distracted driving. Your bond amount is $1,000. Therefore, your total bond is $5,500. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes.
Okay. And then I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2026 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the calendar?
On the calendar.
Okay. And then I have approved your application. Let's see. No, see, based on your application, you do not qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so you will need to hire your own attorney. You understand that?
No.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. State your full name for me.
Shamsidine.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Shamsidine.
Okay, spell that for me.
Ashira, last name SHAMSID -DEEN.
Okay, they got it all as one. So it's you said hyphenate, is it hyphenated?
2 D's, and the second D is capitalized.
Okay. And then your first name is Bashira? Correct?
Correct.
Okay. You've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is criminal trespass. Your bond amount is $2,000. The second offense is battery, family violence. Your bond amount is $3,500. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amounts?
Yes.
Can you make bond?
Yes.
Okay, if you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. The first condition is you must stay away from the alleged victim in the case by the name of Detola Jones. Do you recognize that name?
Yes.
Okay, you must stay away absolutely, directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by pager, by text message, by social media, by telephone. You also cannot contact him through a third person. Secondly, because the alleged incident occurred at 8248 Creek Ridge Circle, Riverdale, Georgia, you're not to return to that location while you're out on bond. Is that your primary residence?
Yes.
Okay, if it is, then you'll need to make other arrangements. However, I will allow you to make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to retrieve any undisputed personal property at that location. Lastly, you cannot violate any laws while out on bond. Do you understand these special conditions of your release? Okay, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
On the calendar.
Okay. And then I have approved your application for a court-appointed counsel. Do you have any questions? Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, Sheer will need to be continued for tomorrow. She was disruptive.
Well, why, if she disruptive, can we just do her by herself? I mean, it's just one charge, so I hate to continue her.
They,
Have they already returned her?
yes, they did.
Okay, well, I'll continue her, but tomorrow she needs to be at first appearance. Are we clear? Okay, disruptive inmates we can deal with. They still have to get their first appearance. You understand that? You know me, Deputy Shears. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're ready for the male inmates. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready. Make sure y'all speak up loud too. So she can hear y'all.
A minute.
No problem.
Please state your full name for me.
Jalen Baker.
Okay, Mr. Baker, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is hit and run. Your bond amount is $3,000. The second offense is DUI, alcohol less safe. Your bond amount is $5,000. Therefore, your total bond is $8,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
On the court calendar.
Okay. And then you refused to complete the application for court-appointed counsel. Do you not need a court-appointed attorney, sir?
I have an attorney already.
Okay, you have an attorney? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, just one question about the bond. I had got a call, well, I made a call that said my bond was paid. I guess it's going through the processing mode, so I really don't know how that works.
I don't have any knowledge of that. My only job is to set your bond. I don't know how your bond can be paid when I just said it. So I don't know how true that is. I have your bond order here, so it has to be processed first. So I don't know how your bond can be paid if I haven't said. We do have some that have a preset bond. There's no preset bond on a hit and run. So there was a preset bond on a DUI, but not the hit and run. So it's unlikely they could have paid it before I said it. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Where you came from? Step up, next right up. When one finish, y'all just step up.
Okay. Is that your full name for me?
Randy Bridges.
Okay, Mr. Bridges, you've been charged with 1 count of a child abandonment. Your bond amount is $1,500. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yeah.
Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
Keep it on the calendar.
Okay. And then based on your application, I have approved court-appointed attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions? Okay, thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, almost.
Good afternoon. State your full name for me.
Cordero Griffin.
Okay, Mr. Griffin, you've been charged with 1 count of simple battery, family violence. Your bond amount is $2,500. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Or you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. The first condition is that you're to have no contact with the alleged victim in the case by the name of Jamie Johnson. Do you recognize that name? Okay, there's a no contact, which means you must stay away directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by pager, by text message, by social media, by telephone. You also cannot contact her through a third person or go to her home or workplace. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Secondly, because the alleged incident occurred at 8469 River Park Drive, Clayton County, Georgia, you're not to return to that location while you're out on bond. Is that your primary residence?
That's my mother's house. She came from College Park to my mother's house. So I've been in my mom's house for like 2-3 weeks. I didn't even know she was outside until I walked out to go hook up my trailer to go work, because I work out of detail service. So I didn't even know she was outside. So I've been in my mom's house for the last 2-3 weeks to keep this situation from being to this point. So basically,
The River Park Drive is your mom address?
yes, ma'am. That's why the other 3 officers that came, they were trying to understand why she came from College Park to Riverdale, just to bring me a piece of mail that probably came weeks ago. And I've been away from her house going on 2 weeks. That's why I was asking Officer Jones, was it possible for me to get an OR bond, because she didn't even supposed to be in at my mama's house. Because my mama told me not to come back there 2 months ago.
Well, no, I can't give you no OR bond because your criminal history, but it doesn't say in the warrant that you guys currently live together. Did she live with you at that River Park Drive location?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you saying that's your mom's address?
Which is Betty Griffin.
Okay. Okay, well, unfortunately, you're gonna have to get the bond conditions reconsidered through your attorney. Since it is a family violence, I don't want things to escalate. However, I have approved an attorney to represent you. You understand that?
Okay.
And then I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
Keep it on the court calendar.
Okay, any other questions?
How much you said the bond was exact? Like
2,500.
2,500. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, sir.
Percentage, probably 10 to 15. Okay, thank you.
Can you state your full name for me?
Corey Jones.
Hey, Mr. Jones. 1 minute. Mr. Jones, you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated assault. Your bond amount is $20,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond?
I don't know.
Okay, if you can make bond, there will be special condition included on your bond. The first condition is you're to have no contact with your brother by the name of Jeffries Khalid, since he's the alleged victim in the case. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then secondly, you cannot violate any laws while out on bond. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no contact means you cannot contact him directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by pager, by text message, by social media, by telephone. You cannot contact him through a third person or go to his home or workplace. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, I've scheduled a preliminary hearing for July 24, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date, July 24th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then I have approved your application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any questions?
No,
Okay, thank you. Okay, state your full name for me.
Mabry.
Okay, Mr. Mabry, you've been charged with 4 offenses. The first offense is possession of a weapon during a crime. Your bond amount is $5,000. Second offense is possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Your bond amount is $1,000. Third offense is violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Your bond amount is $3,500. Fourth offense is red light violation. Your bond amount is $500. Therefore, your total bond is $10,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amounts?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you can make bond, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 24, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then I have approved a court-appointed attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am. My sister left a firearm in my car. So that's what I was trying to explain.
Okay, well, remember, we're not here to try your case today. That's information you can provide to your attorney, okay, in preparation for your trial. Okay, thank you. Next, state your full name for me.
Rainwater now.
Okay, Mr. Rainwater, you've been charged with 3 offenses. The first offense is theft by receiving stolen property. Your bond amount is $5,000. Second offense is possession of a firearm and/or weapon during the commission of a crime. Your bond amount is $5,000. Third offense is violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, Schedule 1. Your bond amount is $4,000. Therefore, your total bond is $14,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
I'm new to the system, man, but I understand what you said.
Okay, great. You can disagree. I've scheduled your preliminary, let me finish. Let me finish, sir. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 24, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir?
You understand?
July 24th, that's your next court date. You understand that?
Yeah, I understand
Okay.
that, man.
Okay, and then based on you didn't complete your court appointed application, it says you need assistance. Do you have a job?
No, I don't.
Okay, if you don't have a job, you would qualify for a court appointed attorney. So I have approved your application. At this time, I'll take any questions, sir.
I'm new to the game, man. I don't know about this situation. I ain't feel like I couldn't see. I got bond, I tried to make bond, all that.
Okay, yeah, so I've set bond for you. The total is 14,000, okay?
$14,000?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, when can I get on it? Get on the phone and track it down?
That's something you're gonna have to talk to the deputies about. But I'll send over my bond order at the first appearance today. Okay, after the other inmates hearings. You understand that?
October 14.
Okay.
October
Yes.
14. Thank you, man.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
We actually have Shears back. If you want to go ahead.
Great. Yes, I do. Yeah, her.
Just give me 1 second. Tell her to come on. Just send him back. Go ahead. Go ahead. Face the wall, sir. Face the wall. No, not that one. In the back. Y'all in there, face the wall. Now, y'all face the wall. Yeah. Go ahead, sir. Yeah, everybody. No, it's so tight. All right here.
Okay, state your full name for me.
Caitlin Shears.
Ms. Shears, you've been charged with 1 count of apprehension or hindering of a criminal suspect. Your bond amount is $2,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount? You understand the charge? Specifically, you were alleged to be harboring a fugitive. You understand the charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 24, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that you've been charged with a felony?
You said July 24th.
Yes, but I've set bond for at $2,000.
So I can bond out today.
Yes. You can't bond out, okay? And then you did complete an application for court-appointed counsel. Based on your application here, you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I have approved an attorney to represent you. You understand that? Ms. Shears, I understand you're the alleged victim in another case, so that's why I set bond for you at $2,000, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good luck.
Appreciate it.
What house is you on that for?
Thank you, Deputy. Okay, state your full name for me.
Carlos Sanchez Medina.
Okay, 1 minute. And real quick, this deputy has Kenneth Ringer, has he bonded out?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, sir. You said last name is Sanchez?
Sanchez Medina.
Okay, Medina. Okay, sorry. So you've been charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property, 2nd degree. Unfortunately, because you're still on active probation, I'm not authorized to set bond for you today. So there's a no bond. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 24, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. And then your bond hearing will be July 28, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. Do you understand those 2 different hearing dates, sir?
No.
Okay, and then you did not complete the application for court-appointed counsel, stated you needed assistance. Do you have a job?
No, ma'am. I'm currently disabled.
Okay, well then I have approved a court-appointed attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Michael Southern.
Okay, Mr. Southern, you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Your bond amount is $25,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you can make bond, that will be a special condition included on your bond order. The first condition is you're to have no contact with the alleged victim in the case by the name of Caitlin Shears. No contact means, stay away directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by pager, by text message, by telephone, by social media. You cannot contact her through a third person or go to her home or workplace. You understand that, sir?
Ma'am.
You don't understand?
Say yes, ma'am.
Okay, then also because the alleged incident occurred at 187 Black Forest Trail, Stockbridge, Georgia, you're not to return to that location while you're out on bond. Is that your primary residence?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if it is, you'll need to make other arrangements. However, I will allow you to make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to retrieve any undisputed personal property. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Lastly, you cannot violate any laws while out on bond. Do you understand these special conditions of your release, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, also I've scheduled a preliminary hearing for July 24, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date?
Yes, ma'am.
And I have approved attorney to represent you based on your application. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, say so. Next man up.
Kelvin Statement.
Okay, Mr. Stedden, you've been charged with 4 offenses. The first offense is no tail lights. Your bond amount is $500. Second offense is driving on a suspended or revoked license. Your bond amount is $1,500. Third offense is violation of Georgia seatbelt law. Your bond amount is $500. Fourth offense is open container in violation of Georgia law. Your bond amount is $500. Therefore, your total bond is $3,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amounts?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
Keep it on the board.
Okay. And then you refuse to complete your court-appointed counsel application. Do you not require the assistance of a court-appointed attorney, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you say you do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have a job?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I will approve your application. You have any questions?
No, ma'am. No,
Thank you. Okay, state your full name for me.
Williams.
Okay, first name.
Come on.
Okay, so you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, family violence. Your bond amount is $1,500. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Good question.
Okay, well, no, that question. My question was, do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay, if you, do you know if you can make bond?
Yes.
Okay, if you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order because this is considered a family violence matter. There's a no contact against the alleged victim by the name of Jacqueline McKenzie Mejedo. Do you recognize that name?
Yes.
Okay, no contact means you must stay away. Absolutely, directly by mail, by email, by pager, by text message, by social media, by telephone. You cannot contact her through a third person or go to her home or workplace. You understand that?
Yes.
Also, because the alleged incident occurred at 1664 Pinto Trail, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236, you're not to return to that location while you're out on bond. Is that your primary residence?
Yes.
Okay, if it is, you will need to make other arrangements. However, I will include a provision in the bond order that will allow you to make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to retrieve any undisputed personal property at that location. You understand that?
Yes.
And then lastly, you cannot violate any laws while out on bond. You understand those special conditions of your release, sir?
Yes.
Okay, and then I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
Keep it on the calendar.
Okay, and then I have approved your application for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any questions?
Yes, quick question.
Yes.
I called the cops, made it clear that she didn't want me arrested, and they still arrested me. And it's on.
Well, it looks like someone had to call the police.
Yeah, but while they were.
That's family violence charge. It's up to the state. It's not up to it's not up to her. It's a state charge. So at that point, somebody.
Yeah, I mean, she called, someone had to call. So I understand the nature. I understand the nature of the charge in terms of what exactly you interfere with the use of, but again, it's still considered a family violence charge. You understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, state your full name for me.
Stanton Williams.
Mr. Williams, you've been charged with 4 offenses. You got 3 separate counts of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. Okay, so you got 3 separate accounts, 3 separate counts, and your bond amount for each is $2,500. So therefore, the criminal damage in the 2nd degree, $2,500. Making terroristic threats is the 2nd offense, is the bond amount I've set at $4,000. And then you have 2 other criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, dealing with the different items that you're alleged to have damaged, sir. So in all, you're looking at a bond, let's see here. $11,500. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amounts?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if you can make bond, there will be special conditions included on your bond order. The first condition is you had no contact with your mother by the name of Tremaine McCommons. That's the alleged victim in the case, along with, I believe, your sister, Centricia Williams. You recognize those 2 names?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there's a no contact, which means you must stay away from them, absolutely, directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by pager, by text message, by telephone. You cannot contact them through a 3rd person or go to their home or workplace. I'm also prohibiting you from returning to the incident location identified as 5519 Denny Drive, Atlanta, Georgia, 30349. Is that your primary residence?
No, ma'am.
Okay, that's not, okay. You said yes? Okay, if it is, then I'll allow you to make an appointment with the sheriff office within 10 days of your release to retrieve any undisputed personal property at that location. You also cannot violate any laws while out on bond. Do you understand these special conditions of your release, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I've scheduled a preliminary hearing for July 24th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I have approved your application for a court-appointed attorney. You have any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So, with my criminal history and the charge do I have, am I able to plead no load in the future when I go to my arraignment or court date?
Well, that's something you can speak to your attorney about, sir. My only job here is to set bond for you today and then give you your preliminary hearing date. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, deputy, state your full name for me.
Carlton Winfrey.
Winfrey.
So that's not where it is right now.
And this is make sure deputy, we also got Joseph Wilson. Is he available as well?
I think he's OTB, Your Honor.
But I think we need to know. Can you find out for me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I need you to confirm that for me.
Yes, ma'am, we're doing that right now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, sorry, Mr. Winfrey, you've been charged with 3 offenses. The first offense is driving under the influence. Your bond amount is $3,000. The second offense is no tag light. Your bond amount is $500. Third offense is improper lane change. Your bond amount is $500. Therefore, your total bond is $4,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes.
Can you make bond?
Yes.
Okay, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
Keep it on the court's calendar.
Okay. And then you did, looks like you refused, let's see here. Nope, that's Mr. Wilson. Look like you did not complete your court-appointed application. Do you need an attorney to represent you, a court-appointed attorney?
No, ma'am.
You're gonna hire your own?
Yes.
Are you sure? I could just ask you 2 questions to see if you qualify. Do you currently have a job?
I do have a job.
Okay, can you give me an estimated amount for your monthly wages?
I already know I'm not gonna qualify.
Okay. Okay, well then I will put you're gonna hire your own attorney.
Okay.
And do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, good luck, Mr. Winfrey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Deb, so we just need to find out, confirm Mr. Wilson, if he's out on bond or not.
Yes, so they give us 1 second, they checking on it now.
Okay. We'll be in brief recess. Thank you.
That was for Wilson, your honor?
Yes.
Okay.
First name Joseph, middle name Demond. You need his LE number?
No, man, we have it.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Your Honor, we're ready. We have them.
Okay, we have Mr. Wilson.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, see, deputies. Okay, Mr. Wilson, state your full name for me.
Joseph Demond Wilson.
Hey, Mr. Wilson, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, family violence. Your bond amount is $2,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you can make bond, because it's a family violence, I'm gonna prohibit you from having no contact with the alleged victim by the name of Taisha Stewart. You recognize that name?
Yes, that's my.
Okay, so you must stay away, absolutely, directly, indirectly, by mail, by email, by pager, by telephone, by third person. You also cannot go to her home or workplace. You understand that? Second, because the alleged incident occurred at 6097 Yellowwood Court, Atlanta, Georgia, 30349. You're not to return to that location while you're out on bond. Is that your primary residence?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if it is, then you'll need to make other arrangements. However, I will allow you to make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to retrieve any undisputed personal property at that location. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Lastly, you cannot violate any other laws while out on bond. You understand these special conditions of your release, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
I've also scheduled your preliminary hearing for July 25th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date? Okay, would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
I don't really know what it means.
Was the purpose of it is to determine if there's enough evidence of probable cause to continue to detain you. However, if you bond out, it's automatically waived. So you want to leave it on the calendar, and then if you bond out, it'll, okay, thank you. And then you did not complete your application for court appointed counsel, says you need assistance. Do you currently have a job?
Yes, ma'am. I'm working on getting a job.
You working on, do you have one or are you working on it?
I don't have one right now.
Okay, no problem. So therefore you would qualify for a court appointed attorney. So I have a proven attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, that will conclude your first appearance hearing for today. Thank you.
All right, Your Honor, I think that's everyone.
Okay, thank you, Deputy.